Welcome back to All About Arsenal. And after a long while, we are back to doing our business in the Premier League review show. We are having a couple of OGs with us, and we have some new guys joining today. So I'll start with our new guys, starting with Mr. Reward. Welcome, bro. Finally, good to put a face to the name. Right. Reward is like one of those guys where he has one DP on his WhatsApp for like 17 million years, and that's all of I've always known him, man. So it's good to see you as something else, something like DP. How you doing, brother?
Great to be here. I'm so happy to finally be on the spot. So I can't wait to see what this entails. So great to be here. I'm doing good, doing great. Awesome time.
Awesome. And we also have Omenka Dubi. Fun fact, he was my best man in my wedding, and I was his best man in his own wedding. Nice. Now we're going to cook together in our stream. How you doing, brother? Answer now, Dubi. Who they wait for?
We're good. I hope my network is good because it looks like it's cut in here.
Yeah, you have like a small lag.
Okay. No, I answered already. Now my network like on the drag.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro. Okay, we also have
my network.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, bro. We can. Oh Lord. Okay, we also have Mr. Chicken in the building. What's up, bro? Good to see you,
man. Good to see you too, bro.
Yeah. And of course, Rory, another OG of the channel. When that's a big ass cup, bro. That is the only trophy we're going to leave this season.
Bigger than the one that we're about to win this season. Trust me. Honestly,
I don't know if you can hear me now. My back. Am I live?
Yeah, we can hear you now, bro. Welcome. So as always, we're going to have the Premier League review show.
Way, just before you.
What do you say, Rory? No, you're good, bro. You're
I'm
good.
not lagging, am I?
No, you're not lagging. You're not lagging. Okay, guys. As always, we'll go through our agenda. We'll start with the Arsenal match review. We'll talk about how Arsenal played in the game week. Then we'll look at our title rivals to see how they panned out. This was a very, very good week for all Arsenal fans. Our hate watch was very epic, and we're going to go through all of it. Then we'll look at other key results in the game week, some surprise of the weeks, of course, and the injury watch. Then we'll have a look at the table and go straight to the game with 23 predictions. Awesome. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, and we'll start with the Arsenal match review. And this was the game against Nottingham Forest. And okay, Reward, I think I'll start with you here, bro. What's your take on how Arsenal performance have been leading to this game, and what were the expectations for the match?
For me, I wasn't expecting too much because I know the team put out a lot, especially midweek against Chelsea. So I was expecting the performance to be a bit. I thought Arsenal were just going to do what it took to see out the win, but I wasn't expecting any good football. I was just expecting them to grind out results against Forest. We know who Forest are. They've been on a bad run. And again, I just expected them to see out this win, but I was shocked. So I know that the team is mentally fatigued. There's been a lot of games. If you noticed, everyone who played midweek, City lost, right? Chelsea won, but Newcastle also couldn't beat Wolves, and that was shocking as well. So teams who had like a whole week of rest, I'm sure they would have been very well prepared. And if you had looked at Forest, they were well drilled. Defense, everyone was on point. So Arsenal, I just felt they could have done more to grind out the win. I'm not sure why Arteta played Saka for the whole 90 minutes against Chelsea, right? To me, that wasn't necessary. You could have saved him for this. I know he did come on, and of course he didn't do anything. But then the French players like Noni, like Martinelli, who you have on the screen, the guilted chance that Martinelli has.
Man.
But then it's typical Martinelli. But what do you expect from him? I feel like he's as a sub than when he starts. So, but again, why is he always starting Gyökeres? It's clearly not working, right? So we have Jesus. I know Havertz is back, but you're trying to get him. It's here and there, but Gyökeres is clearly not working. He should have started Jesus in this game. So, again, you guys you gained 1 point. City lost, Villa lost. So at the end of the day, you still gain 1 point. Better than nothing. So
Okay,
I'll take
fair
it. But
enough.
like the league
Fair
should
enough.
have been closed out by now. Like Arsenal have dropped a lot of points where they really shouldn't have dropped. But I mean, it's Arsenal, so I'm not.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for that. So, Rory, as an Arsenal fan, looking at that lineup, were you concerned? Yes, you know Martinelli is our leading goal scorer. He has been cooking in Champions League. Of course, got a hat-trick against Portsmouth in the FA Cup. But for some reason, he had been thinking of the place in the Premier League. So when you saw him come back into the side, with of course Noni Madueke ahead of Saka, were there any alarm bells ringing for you?
Yeah, definitely. Because this same front line, right, in Madueke, Martinelli, and Gyökeres, sorry, it didn't work against who was it, Liverpool away. Didn't work against Bournemouth for the first hour. So for me, alarm bells were ringing at the time. Like for me, he should have gone strong against Forest at the weekend. He should have gone Saka, Trossard, Gyökeres. And I don't want to hear this gimmick about, oh, well, you know, if we got injuries to Saka and Trossard, you would then blame Arteta for injury. No, shut up, right? You've got 2 meaningless Champions League games coming up. Have I lost? Am I good?
No, we can hear you, bro. Go ahead.
Yes, you are. You are.
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
I was
You're
going
good.
to say, right, because it came up with no bloody connection on my screen. But yeah, as I was saying, right, we've got 2 meaningless Champions League games coming up, right? Inter Milan being one of them on, I don't know whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and all 3 of them, you know, players in the front line that played on Saturday were hooked inside 60 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's clear that it didn't work out, did it? I don't know why he would go for that attack in the first place. Madueke is not good enough. Martinelli, unless it's the Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, whatever, right? In the Premier League, he probably scores that if it is the Champions League, Carabao Cup, or the FA Cup. It's like, well, unless it is any of them other competitions but the Premier League, he's just going to be like, well, don't bother turning up today, actually. But, you know, we'll slander Gyökeres instead, though. Despite Martinelli being on more money, 180k a week, still earn that to this day. And he misses just basically a gaping chance that, come on, like a player on that
was so
sort of
sad,
money
man.
should be good scoring, right? In general, right, the performance was absolutely embarrassing, right? After Manchester City's loss against Man United, I was thinking, right, okay, surely we're not talking Liverpool now at home. We're talking a Forest side who are 17th.
17th, man.
10 points.
Like, yeah.
They've picked 10 points, right? 10 points at home all season. I believe we've given them, now 11 points at home. It's just like, how do you? And I knew this would, you know, be a difficult game, right? It's Sean Dyche.
Yeah,
at the
sure.
end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Satan ball, man. You know what it is.
Again, as I said, Forest 17th in the league, 10 points at home all season. Surely you would see some sort of reaction. We didn't see anything, right? I would love to know how many shots we had on target in that game, because I can only count 1, to be honest.
Yeah, so I can quickly look up the stats. The stats say that Arsenal had 3 shots on target.
3
The
shots.
3 shots were Declan
Not like
Rice.
we had 1.
Saka, the header that Sales used to make a wonderful save. Then Gabriel Jesus as well. Those are the 3 shots on target. But we had 15 shots in general.
Ultimately, right, we didn't deserve to win the game, right? Despite, you know, the VAR decision, bullshit. Excuse my French, but, you know, like, I was absolutely fuming when that wasn't given. I mean, anywhere else, I think that's probably a penalty. But then again, right, we can't change how bad these officials are. However, I can't say the same about Arsenal. We could definitely change. Are we playing like a team that are top of the league right now? No. And the frustration is the fact we've gained a point on everyone else, right, in this title race. It's the fact we should be about 11 points clear right now. And that's a frustrating thing. Like, how on earth are we not 11 points clear? I think, actually, because Villa lost today, I think we could have been...
Yeah, 11 points on both teams,
Yeah, so
actually.
I would have come on here and said, title's done if we would have beaten both Liverpool and Forest. Even if we would have just beaten Forest and we went 9 points clear, I would have come on here and said, yeah, I believe we can actually go on to win the league now. But 7 points, like City will look at that and go, it's doable.
Yeah, well, they have done 8 points actually. So it's not surprising for them, I agree.
People come up with this crap about the fact, oh, well, you praise the players when we win, and then when we lose or draw, you blame Arteta. No. Today, or should I say Saturday, that was everyone. From players, manager, VAR, whatever, right? Everyone as a collective, shocking, right? The lineup, as I mentioned earlier, right, was a massive red flag for me. The substitutions, though, right? Why are you taking off your number 9? Just curious. What is this obsession with Gabriel Jesus coming on for Victor Gyökeres? You can't even say he's having a stinker because he did the same thing against Chelsea where he bagged a goal and an assist. Still came off for Gabriel Jesus. I don't know why that substitution is common now with Arteta. It's like, well, I have to take off Gyökeres for Gabriel Jesus. Why can't you go 2 up front? Just curious. Why can't you just go for at least 2 up front, take off one of the DMs, because you don't need 2 DMs in a game like that.
Yeah.
I know it's away from home, but you don't need 2 DMs. So go 2 up front. Why is your midfielder, who you paid £30 million for, coming on before the midfielder you paid £70 million for? Like, just curious again. Like, I don't know what Eze's actually done to this manager, by the way, but he's not getting a look in. Yes, I know he had that lapse of concentration against
in the Aston Villa game,
But why is Odegaard in the team every week, right? You brought Marino in for, you know, his aerial duel rate, apparently. How many duels has Odegaard won? Because, honestly, he got bloody dog walks by Anderson on every single blooming opportunity. It was honestly embarrassing. It was like taking your child to work day and you've been told to just sit in the corner and be quiet. That's what. Basically what happened.
I agree, bro. I agree.
We got body checked.
And Odegaard has already been impressive. I agree.
When Rory can't get a game, I think he might have broken a record of being the only Arsenal captain to get subbed off under 60 minutes. That must be a record or something at 0-0, and you're getting hooked. It's like, well, Arteta knows he's not good enough, but I'm still going to play them.
You have been struggling, though. I agree. So actually, let's talk about Nottingham Forest for a bit. You know, obviously, they started the campaign with Nuno Espirito Santo. Then, of course, he had the drama with Edu because he got sacked. They brought in Ant Postecoglou. He wanted to take them to the trenches. He got sacked as well. And now, under Sean Dyche, they've gotten some form of balance. Looking at the way their campaign has been, combining both European football and, of course, the rigors of the Premier League, do you think Sean Dyche has done a good job to put them where they are, or do you think there's more expected from him and his team?
Oh, no, I mean, he's done a good job so far. I think more is to be expected because, you know how Dyche is. It's about drilling the players in and, you know, the repetitions and the formation. And they have a large squad, which he was not really happy about. Because I think Zinchenko is going out on loan to Ajax, I think, or going to, is he on loan from you guys? I don't know what.
They cancelled the loan, then I think
Douglas Luiz got an injury. They lost Sangare as well to the Nations Cup, I think. But he's just come back and all that. So he's been managing a lot. But I think in the long run, I think overall he's doing a good job. And yesterday, it's one of those games. I mean, Forest since Dyche came, it's been a difficult place to go to. Yes, they've not been getting the points, but the performances have been all right. There are some lapses in concentration here and there and all that. It's one of those games. I mean, I was watching your game yesterday, and I mean, I didn't really have much skin in it because Man United, we'd won our game early on. I was happy.
Yeah.
It was like a 4:30 a.m. wake up for me to watch a United game. So yeah, but it was one of these games where, like you said, you had 13 shots, but only 3 on target. The result seemed very bad as it happened, especially because there was the opportunity to get the points after Man City had dropped points, Liverpool had dropped points at that time.
Yeah.
But overall, in the grand scheme, it's one of those games where you had the Carabao Cup midweek, you have Champions League the next week. Manager has a lot on his mind. Do you know what I mean? I know it's easy to be like, it's easy, like play your strongest team. Premier League is one we really need to go for. But, you want to keep players in a rhythm. The Gyökeres thing, I'm one of those people, and this happened with me at United and everything. I believe in playing players into form, and I think he thinks there's a player in there, and he's trying to get it out. I'm not sure there is, but he obviously thinks there is. And then the Odegaard point as well. I mean, he's the club captain, and on his day, he's fantastic. The managers, they have to think about things in a different way to us. So if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be too upset. The three that started, like he said, away at Nottingham Forest, yeah, that's not your strongest starting three, but you would expect they would get a result, And then you save the big guns for the Inter Milan game because you want to be at the top in the Champions League, or even maybe if it's a useless game, save the players a bit and then, play United next weekend. But it's one of those weekends where, Nottingham Forest are pleased with the point they got. Arsenal are upset, but in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't the worst result in the world.
Yeah, so in your opinion, 2 points lost or 1 point gained?
Oh, no, it's 2 points lost because you're top of the table going to the team 17th. But in the context of the game itself and the season as a whole, especially the way the weekend went, it's not the worst result. It's 2 points drop, definitely.
Okay.
First going to 17th is two points drop.
The problem wasn't for me the players that started. It was just the fact he's persisted with the same attack that didn't work against.
It didn't work in a previous game.
It didn't work against not Forest, Bournemouth.
Liverpool. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's
that was the problem for me.
Yeah, maybe mix one or two of them. Like maybe mix Martinelli for Trossard and mix. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Play around with it a bit.
I agree. Yeah, so we got a couple of folks in the chat. Farouk, he's saying man-like reward. So Dom, I want you to answer this question that Farouk put in the chat. Farouk believes that maybe because Ateta never wanted Gyökeres in the first place. I know we've had the discussion in Rory's channel, and that was gangster. So
he wanted Tesco.
so now I have to give you like 5 minutes to cook on this issue. Do you think he really wanted Gyökeres? And what's your take on him so far?
I don't need 5 minutes, man. But yeah, well, thanks for having me on. Just really quickly on the composition of the attack. I think Rory has a point here, and I think it's not necessarily that combination, but I think I've got something coming out on this tomorrow. But I think it really is a question of the right combination for the right games. If you look at a Nottingham Forest side, right, they're not going to allow space in behind. Sean Dyche sides don't let space in behind very often, right? They will deny space, they'll drop deep. And I understood the decision to start Gyökeres yesterday because he just got his first open goal in God knows how long.
Centuries,
It was about man management, but he wasn't the right player for that game, nor was Martinelli. Martinelli against Inter Milan, there will be more space. That's a Martinelli game. For me, it was a Trossard game on the left, or an Eza, if you want to play him out there. It was Jesus or Havertz. Havertz isn't fit enough yet to start, I don't think, to try and bring Forest out from that deep thing because he's going to come short to collect the ball. That's going to have to bring a centre-half with it. That might then create the space. If you're doing that, you can probably have Martinelli on the left to try and run into that if you want, instead of Trossard. But that combination doesn't necessarily work. I also think because Forest sit deep, Odegaard's game is about receiving the ball, playing the ball about. He's not a magic moments man. He's a sort of a system man, playing the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch, in it goes. Eza, I felt in the number 10 yesterday, was the man.
He would have been good for this game. I agree.
I think, look, Arteta made early substitutions yesterday. I actually thought Moreno played fairly well, apart from missing that big chance. And we did create chances yesterday. I think we deserved to win the game on the chance we created. We just weren't clinical enough. And the result is 100% disappointing. You'd expect to win that game, right? But I think that's where the issue lay yesterday, was on that combination of players. As Rory's alluding to, it's not that they can't work together, but it doesn't work together against teams that sit in. Liverpool, surprisingly, in fairness to the manager, Liverpool surprisingly sat in. I don't think anyone...
they cannot give us a form of respect, I think.
Yeah. But yes, but against Forest, you know that's what's going to happen. And to Rory's
Sit-down ball,
point,
bro.
yeah, you've just seen Liverpool sit in and it not work. You know Forest are going to do the same. That's where, for me,
change up. Yeah,
exactly.
and that's my problem, because you have the squad that is dynamic enough to make all those kind of changes. Remember the game against West Ham where he tried Eze and Odegaard as the dual eights and took out Zubimendi. Although Odegaard then had an injury and then they had to come on, but at least you have the squad to do that. So I'm really surprised that didn't work out.
Exactly. But to go back to the Gyökeres question, because that was the question I was asked. But, so I think Mikel Arteta probably wanted Benjamin Sesko, right? He's a natural fit in terms of the system Arsenal play. Arsenal's play is not built around one forward. I'm being slightly simplistic here on Manchester City's attack because I think they are more than Haaland in attack, but it's built around Erling Haaland with the other players coming off.
And it works for them.
And it works for them, right? And also Haaland, why would you not build around Haaland, right? The man's a machine. But I am being slightly simplistic there. Man City is not all Haaland. I just want to be really clear. But Arsenal's attack isn't built in that way, and I can see why he wanted that, because it means if Havertz isn't playing well, he can bring Šeško in. But I think Berta was right with Gyökeres because it's a different type of player. It's a different type of striker. But I think the idea, if anyone thinks this, and I'm not saying that this is what's being said here, that Arteta is sulking over Gyökeres and doesn't want him to succeed because it wasn't a player he wanted, is incorrect. I think what Arsenal need to do.
It doesn't sound right.
But if he does that, he's harming himself, right? You're harming your own.
I'm thinking about the whole Shevchenko and Mourinho situation when he was at Chelsea. That one felt imposed to a certain degree, and you could see how the performance is shown. Well, I get you, bro. Thank you so much. So the final take on. Okay, you done?
Right, very, very quickly.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
He needs to try and find a way for Gyökeres to work, and Arsenal need to find a way for Gyökeres to work, as does Gyökeres. I think he can, but he's not going to get you the 30 goal a season that some people might have expected him to do. I never thought he was going to do that, but we all expect him to have done better than he has.
Okay, awesome. So, Omenka, let's go to you. Last season, Nottingham Forest had Chris Wood, who scored an amazing 20 goals in the Premier League at his age, right? And obviously, they went into the Club World Cup and got Igor Jesus from Botafogo. Now that Chris Wood has been injured for quite a long while, Jesus has really struggled in the league. Do you think they need to go into January to get a new forward, or should they still keep sticking with Igor Jesus?
I feel like the Premier League, the way it is now, is very, very, very competitive. I don't feel like it's like last season where one team will just take it and just run with it. I feel like it has resetted in a kind of way, like it's back to the way when Fergie and Wenger them used to manage. It's not like Man City will just do 10 straight wins. And for Nottingham Forest, it's now that are actually even getting better. It's not just the striker that was bad. The whole team has been bad. The full team has been bad. And they have been unlucky. And again, their owner is not even making things any better. Like he literally, I think he's the first owner in football that used his own hand to destroy his own club. Like he has to be. It's almost like he doesn't even like the success. You cannot even. Nottingham Forest were a UEFA League. Do you know that? Like the way the guy has been behaving, it's not striker that is your problem. I feel like the club has an owner issue. When your owner is your own problem, I feel like that's where the problem starts from. The guy is on self-destruct. I don't know what's happening. He's on self-destruct. But again, even with all that, Nottingham Forest is still a good team. I don't feel like Arsenal not winning there is a bad result. At least they didn't lose. And if you ask me, I feel Arsenal is going to win the league because nobody's consistent. Even Man City is not even consistent.
Arsenal is not consistent too now. So what are you saying?
No, they are consistent enough to win the league. They are not losing. No, you don't have anybody that. How you know that Arsenal is going to win the league?
Arsenal are not consistent. It's only 2 losses, right? This is only your second loss of the season.
2 losses. And right? Don't forget, none of your.
Come on, don't be a paranoid Arsenal fan.
So I have PTSD. Don't blame me. Sorry, bro.
And the worst part of the whole thing is that Arsenal's players, none of them are actually on top form, but they are still grinding out results. It just
The
takes one
defense is
player
doing it
to
well.
actually just hit top form to just end the season. This is when your best player so far is Rice and Gabriel. Every other person has been bad. Saka is not
And
pulling his
Timber.
weight. Saka is not pulling his weight. Eze can't. I don't even know what's happening with Arteta. Why is he not starting Eze or even giving Eze a chance again?
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it, man. You
Even
know,
right.
so yeah, Farouk like is a certified gangster, and I agree with you, bro.
Even
Okay,
right
so
outside
yeah.
the set pieces and the corners and the free kicks, what else does Rice bring to the table? I don't think
Oh
he
no,
does.
no, no, but Rice brings a lot though. When you think about the
If you check,
engine,
if
the
you
work
check
in midfield is crazy.
the
You know,
last
you have to
couple of
really,
games, the
yeah.
last couple of games, Rice hasn't been pulling his weight. Aside the set pieces, the free kicks, the corners, he
No,
doesn't.
well, it's yeah. I
That's
think
it.
yeah.
Guys,
I disagree, dude. I disagree. But it's
And
all
I
good.
feel like Rice
So,
has actually been one of the best DMs this season, if you ask me. I'm not an Arsenal
mm-hmm.
fan, but Rice has actually been one of the best DMs this season. And we can't
True,
say
true,
He's
aside
been
true.
from
best,
corner, set
definitely.
piece, what else do you want him to do? He's clearing his line, he's scoring the corner. If you remove everything,
Yeah.
what else do you want to judge him on? Hairstyle? Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've
basically,
really done so much around the Arsenal thing, and let's go to the other games. Obviously, we're going to the next one. I can see how Achike and Dubi are smiling like crazy. You know, the new manager bounce took full effect. So Achike, let's start with you here, since you're all shiny and greeny and stuff. When Amorim left the club, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the one that was twerking in quotes for the role. When you now got the information that Carrick was taking over instead of Solskjaer, what was your take on that?
oh no, no. I mean, Carrick is my man. I was more on the Carrick side of things than the Ole side of things, purely because Ole is done interim and he was hired as a manager and was sacked. So I felt it would be almost like taking two steps back. Not that I have any problem with Ole, but rehiring him to be an interim to again just do the job for 6 months and leave. Also, Carrick is a younger, slightly more dynamic coach. I mean, he's managed full time in England. In his small spell there, it was right. I was ready for the fresh reset of Carrick. By the way, sorry, just for the record, I was not one of the Amorim out people. I mean, that's on
Oh, yeah, no, that was Ebuka. Yeah, Ebuka got his
yeah,
wish.
I felt, and I'm also not on the, oh my God, Carrick has changed everything dynamically. That's why we beat Man City yesterday. Man City were piss poor. As
Yeah.
good as United were, they were actually piss poor because we've played, well, I mean, to be fair, this is his first game because I was going to add the cup game, but that was the Brighton game was Fletcher.
That was Fletcher. That was Fletcher.
But the formation, the players, it was a big call to bench Sesko from Buemo. That was a big call.
Yeah, and Cunha too.
And Cunha, I mean, no, Cunha, I have a love-hate relationship with Cunha because he tries a lot. He reminds me of the days when I was going to Old Trafford to watch Tevez. He tries a lot, and I know he's a good player, but he's not being as effective as the trying he's trying. So he looks better than I don't know if that makes any sense. Because he gets himself about, he carries the ball a lot. He takes a lot of shots, which I guess that is what you want a player to take. But him being benched, I was less surprised about because he's not a winger. And Bruno is back to 10. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with Dogo playing on the wing and, Buemo playing on the other wing. And then to see Buemo start up for Sesko. Hats off to Carrick.
That was interesting.
As piss poor as Man City were, game state is an important thing. From the off, United were at it, the corner that hit the bar and all of that. So I don't know if it was that intensity that got them rattled and made them piss poor. But as good as we were, they were piss poor. So I'm waiting to see. Next week will be the big game.
Yep. You're gonna get it, man. So Farouk was fully Amorim out. Good reader. So Reward, let's talk to you here. What was your take on Amorim's performance as a manager at Manchester United?
Me, you should be arrested.
Okay, so I'll get to you. I'll get to you. Just hold on. Let's hear from Reward. Then you can add on this.
I would say personally, I think Amorim is a fraud. We've seen. I mean, how many days has Carrick had with the team, right? how do you go about, how are you so stubborn and so dogmatic about a certain formation that your players clearly don't buy into? The team you're with doesn't work with that team, but you're still hell bent, still headstrong, like, oh, all I know how to play is 3 at the back and that's it. Every other thing, I mean, hell and heaven has to open up for you to like, come on. It was just clear that even the players were getting tired of him. So yeah, Amorim is a fraud. How he even got the United job in the first place, beyond me. But I don't think it's very clear that the United team. How do you get Konya Mbuemo and you have Bruno, and you're playing Bruno almost as a DM? Like, come on, Bruno. I can't even imagine if you had in the Arsenal team. Imagine if you had Bruno instead of Odegaard. Do you know the amount of trophies you guys would have won?
Yeah. True.
Like the United squad they've been underperforming for a while now.
Bruno, right? You know what it is?
What is it?
Yeah, go ahead. What is it about Bruno, Rory?
You know what it is about Bruno? I think.
What is it?
Yeah, so if he was in this Arsenal team under this manager, you just know he's going to be collecting the ball from the halfway line. You do know that, right? Not even from the halfway line. He'll be picking up the ball from his own box. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
You have any attacking midfielder, like when he's when Bruno Fernandes is attacking in this Arsenal team, he'll be changed to the right-hand side like Odegaard is. In build-up, he'll be facing his own goal. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, fair enough. So
Bruno is a very creative player. Like he's clearly something Arsenal needs at this time, but that's a separate conversation.
Yeah,
Amorim finished 15th, right, last season. How was
it?
16th.
I think was it not 16th?
Was it 15th or 16th? I think Spurs was.
Because Spurs were 17th and he was 16th. Yeah.
So 15th. How was?
15th. So
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Man United fan, you would know, obviously, and you're in the trenches. Like I understand the maker.
Like how wasn't he sacked at that period? That's beyond me. Like,
and he didn't even deliver the Europa League self. I remember.
Like, who loses to Spurs in a final? Like, how do you allow Spurs win a final? How's the
How did you let them
I
win
think
it,
the same
bro?
could be asked had Manchester United beaten Spurs.
Grimsby.
Okay, so Menka, let me allow you to cook because Farouk can be writing so much in the chat that Amorim should be in a Portuguese prison, and there's a long list of crimes that Amorim committed. So, and the Man United fan that got the full plot of Amorim. How relieved are you that he's gone?
First thing first, I asked to do a Thanksgiving on Sunday, like this past Sunday. Like I got a goat for my church. I shared food. They didn't even understand how happy I was. I had a full big goat, and I danced happily to the altar. I said, "Take, you have removed my pain for 14 months. 14 months of suffering." See, I wish my petition, I even wrote a petition here in Nigeria for them to arrest Amorim for me. So if he steps foot inside Nigeria, he will be arrested. It's pure wickedness. What he did was pure wickedness. It's not even football anymore. I just feel he had a vendetta against Man U. He planned this whole thing. I don't want to believe he's a coach. Because what is painful about
he's not a coach, he's a manager. Last time I checked.
What is painful about Amorim is that the players really wanted him to succeed. The players, you could see that the players were running for Amorim, but they just didn't get it. They just didn't know how to. And the formation is so difficult in the Premier League because don't forget, the Premier League doesn't give you time. Especially when you have two midfielders sitting in the Premier League, they will eat you up any day, anytime. We're always overrun in our midfield. By the time we get the ball, we are very, very far away from the midfield. Is always far away from the attack. The attack it was a mess. And to top it all up, you also have these rich owners, Glaziers, Sir Jim, that have serious ego issue. Another thing that killed Man U over the last 14 months was ego. They didn't want to come off that they were wrong. And do you know what hurts the most? They didn't sack Amorim for bad performance. So they sacked Amorim for insulting them.
Yeah, in that press conference. Yeah.
They didn't sack Amorim for bad performance. He lost to Grimsby. They didn't sack him. He did everything possible for someone to be sacked. They didn't sack him. He had the worst win ratio. He broke all our losing record you can think about. We lost to Grimsby, but he did one press conference insulting the board, and they sacked him. That should tell you the state of Man U and why we are where we are. And against Man City, what you saw was freedom. Those boys really, we don't have all those bad eggs that we had before under Ten Hag. We have people in our club now that want to play football. And you saw why they were happy with Carrick. He allowed them to express themselves. Everybody liked Amorim, but they didn't like the tactics. Don't get it twisted. The boys didn't want Amorim.
I think he was very rigid. Yeah, because even the times when things were not working out too well, where she wanted to just stick with his formation. And
he even tried it against Newcastle. We won when he changed the formation, but he changed it back, again just to prove a point.
Yeah, I agree.
No, and I don't know. I cannot get. Man has done a lot of things to me that I cannot even be happy about winning Man City. That's just I don't even want to get excited.
No. With time you
until
recover.
we beat Arsenal. Just beat Arsenal.
You're not winning Arsenal. Rory, let's talk Man City. Okay, are you done?
No, but I don't feel like if we pack the box, we have a shot. We should not try and attack Arsenal. Just pack it.
Okay, well, let's see how that goes. So Farouk said that they went back to basics against it. Midfield were close to each other. Fair enough. So let's talk about Man City, Rory. It is turn of the new year. They drew with Sunderland, they drew with Chelsea, they drew with Brighton. Obviously, they had fun against Exeter in the FA Cup. But coming back to the Premier League, they also lost to Man United. And they have reacted, getting Semenyo, getting Guehi. Do you think that Arsenal should still be heavily concerned about the points gap, knowing fully well that they are Man City, knowing fully well that they have done this to us several times in the past? Or do you think they are done?
Yeah, well, obviously, I don't really want to write off Man City at any point in a title race because, we've seen this familiar story before a couple seasons back where, remember, they were 8 or 9 points behind us. I can't remember, but it was about February time. And I think Pep Guardiola said in one interview or press conference when they lost to Spurs 1-0, and he was saying, listen, title race is done. We're not in a title race, blah, blah, blah. I believe there was an international break in between. So he had 2 weeks to sort of prepare for what's coming, right? Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, the guy changed to a 3 at the back system and they won 20 plus games on the trot. And they ended up, of course, winning the league. Not just the league, of course, the treble. So, of course, City under Pep Guardiola is obviously something to take into consideration. When they have a moment to reset, it's a high possibility they will click into form again. Again, I don't think this is the same Manchester City team as we've seen as of late. Yeah. I think you look at their defence, yes, they brought in Guehi, but both of their centre-backs are out injured in Diaz and Gvardiol for a long period of time. So they are going to concede goals, it's fair to say. With Guehi coming in, it's almost like he's got to hit the ground
running from the onset, yeah?
Yeah, and he's going to be very reliant basically on either staying fit or carrying that defense because it looks poor at the moment. So you look at Ake, who looks washed, Rico Lewis,
terrible defending, man. Yeah,
they obviously recalled that centre off from Watford. So listen, defensively they look all over the place, but at the same time, they are showing a little bit of intent. Do you know what I'm saying? Going for this league title. They want to at least come away with something this season. Because if they don't, like, that'll be 2 seasons on the trot now where Pep Guardiola has won nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, their owners
probably
having spent more than anyone else, Rory.
Say again?
Having spent more than anyone
Yeah,
else.
of course.
Exactly.
So loads of money, man.
Because their owners are that ambitious, they're not going to take any like second chances with Pep Guardiola, I don't think, if they win nothing again this season. So they're at least like showing intent to, you know, try and get over the line this season. Because if they don't, then it's going to go tits up for them. Trust me. So I think one positive you can say is Man City like trying to be successful this season anyway. With Arsenal over recent years, I don't think we have been trying. And what I mean by that is, you know, through the transfer window, you know, January in particular, where we've had opportunities to strengthen the squad and we leave ourselves short. That's been my problem. Man City don't do that. So, I mean, you look at City right now, and they play again before we do against, funny enough, United at the weekend. Right, they play bottom of the league, so they're going to narrow that gap to 4 points. And you're thinking going into that game against United, how is it only 4 points when we should be like 11 or 12? And this is the concerning thing, right? Man United are going to be, they're going to be with the win against Man City. They're going to have high spirits going into the game. They're going to be gassed. I don't know what's going on with AT there. Jesus Christ. But
so guys, can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on there. That's all.
Oh yeah, no. So someone switched my lights for me. That's what happened. Sorry about that. But go ahead, Rory.
But yeah, as I was saying, right, like Man United are going to be pumped going into this game, right, against Arsenal at the weekend. So this is what I'm saying. City will beat Wolves next week, unfortunately, before we eventually play. So
that's going to narrow pressure again.
Yeah, 4 points. When again it should be like 9 or 10, which is a disappointment for me. And then again, the pressure's on us to deliver in that game. You know, it's at the Emirates, I know, but again, Man United manager balance. You never like it, to be honest. Coming up against a team that have a new manager, so I think with Man City, obviously you can't write them off in the title race, but at the same time, they're not the same City team. They don't want it.
Yeah.
Like they've not won a game in the Premier League, that is, so far this year, I don't think. So
True.
We should be taking that title by the scruff of the neck, but we just haven't, and that's my problem.
Yes, that's fine. So Dom, Farouk has a comment here. Even if I don't believe him, he says even if we beat Arsenal, that's not happening. Let's leave that out first. He thinks the real test will come when Man United plays small team, but that has been their problem. So what's your take on Man U playing against these smaller teams? Obviously, under Ten Hag, under Amorim, we've kind of struggled against such teams. Would that trend still continue under Carrick, or do you think it's going to change?
Well, I mean, I don't think changing the manager changes the underlying issues with Manchester United. Manchester United, you know, from an outside perspective, look, Amorim had a philosophy and he stuck to it. The problem was his philosophy didn't fit the personnel at Manchester United right now. In the summer, Manchester United went out and looked to fix their attack. Mm-hmm. I didn't necessarily like the way they did it. I mean, we were talking earlier about, you know, Bruno Fernandes having to play 8 because you've almost got too many 10s. It doesn't quite work. But you could sort of at least go, look, we're going to try and fix our attack. We're going to try and improve that. But there's issues in midfield. There's issues in defence. There's issues in goalkeeper. You know, although I think the young lad that's come in has done a fairly decent job. And you don't fix that all in one go. You're going to have to fix that over 2, 3, 4 years to get where you want to go. Michael Carrick, however, has probably set the team up in a way that is far more suited to the personnel they have. And I think that's really what Amorim should have done. Amorim should have gone in and said, look, I want to go to a 3 at the back. I want to do this. But the way the system is worked out right now it means I can't do that. And to use an Arsenal example, Mikel Arteta, when he came in, went 5 at the back. Look, Mikel Arteta was a defensive manager, so it kind of suited, but he didn't want to play 5 at the back. And Arsenal sort of have transitioned towards what Mikel Arteta wanted to do over several years. And I think Manchester United, if they want to fix themselves, whoever they bring in, they need to do that. But, the players clearly, whether they weren't buying into it or couldn't do it, it was always going to end in failure for Amorim without that sort of change.
Yeah.
So Michael Carrick may well, improve it, or he may well not improve it against these smaller sides. I don't know. We will see. However, what I do think is that Manchester United are going to remain inconsistent between now and the end of the season. They were excellent against Manchester City. Manchester City were poor. I think it sort of sums up exactly. Rory summed up Manchester City perfectly, right where they are at. I think he's absolutely spot on, and God knows where they keep getting the money from, by the way. But
and the CLB 115 charge is hanging around now. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, they're relatively historic, but they're spending what they're spending. Look, they sell well. That does really help, but it does, But if it's true that Gehi's on 300,000 a week,
Man, that's mad, man.
You might have spent 20 million. Let's call it 30 because of the add-ons, etc., etc. But that'll be paid over time. 300 grand a week plus bringing in Semenyo, they're adding nearly $500,000 to their wages. But anyway, wherever they get the money from, they get the money from. Whether it's within the rules or not, I'm sure it's within the rules, right? But whether it was historically, Manchester City were poor, but Manchester United were excellent. And a bit like with Arsenal against Forest, you also have to give Manchester United and Nottingham Forest their flowers for the way they played. But Manchester United, because of the structural issues in the squad right now, and they are going to be there for a year or two longer because it's not going to be fixed quickly. You can't fix it that quickly. Tottenham, another great example of it right now. It's not all the manager that's the issue there. At either club, there are structural issues with the squad, the board, etc., etc. It needs considerable wholesale change. It needs cultural change. It needs playing staff change. It needs a heck of a lot of work. We were there 5-6 years ago, right? It remains to be seen whether we get over the line, but it's painful and you are inconsistent. We could see Manchester United come to Arsenal next week and play in the same way. Brilliant, well done. We could see Manchester United come and fall apart. I think that's just going to be the season, whoever they're playing, and there's going to be no rhyme nor reason. It's not a side I would be putting money on for anything this season because Lord only knows which United's going to turn up. So we'll see what happens. But United just need to find someone that can build around them, and they can sort of trust that and see that adaptation. It basically goes, I want us to be here. This is how I get there, but I'm prepared to start here, and we're going to do it this way, and that's what they need to do. That's my view, anyway.
Awesome. So, Reward, if you were Ineos right now, or you were Sam Jim Radcliffe, who would you sign as the manager of Manchester United over the summer?
Oh, if I was the owner of Ineos, I'd sell Manchester United and return to Nice. It's much have you seen the weather down in the south of France? In Manchester, it's raining as grey as cold. Where the hell did you do that?
Oh my God. So Reward.
Who would I sign as manager? Look, I think they got the right interim manager, actually. Michael Carrick was the right interim manager, 100%. He's someone that knows the club. I thought he did a good job at Middlesbrough. He's a thoughtful guy. I think he's too inexperienced for the Manchester United job right now. Having said that, Mikel Arteta, although he hasn't got over the line, and you can question whether he can or not, has done the same would have been said about him 5 years ago, right? So maybe. But United have had their fingers burnt. I think you just see who becomes available in the summer. There could be a lot of very talented managers available in the summer.
Yeah, but before Reward answers, who comes to your mind?
I know I'm hedging. Well, I think it through. You've got. If Thomas Tuchel becomes available for you in the summer, I think that would be good. However, I think Thomas Tuchel will get better offers. So I wonder.
But Thomas Tuchel has the World Cup to contend with. Do you think he wants to add Manchester United to his problems?
Well, that's my point. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He for me is probably the best manager we think is going to be available in the summer. But I don't think if I'm Thomas Tuchel, I go to Manchester United. He also comes in very late in the window because of that. So I would be looking at someone like a Glasner or a Iraola that are both going to be available potentially in the summer. Okay. I think someone like that can come in and take time. But the problem right now is that whoever it is going to have to be a strong character. And the problem with both those two is they haven't been at a big club before. So do United wait for Tuchel or someone like that to become available? It's a gamble for them.
Yeah, fair enough. So what? Do you have your answer now?
Yeah. What I think they should do is Carrick is interim, but see how he does at the end of the season. And I feel like he'll do very well. So I would be a huge proponent for them to stick with him. But if that's
Oh,
not possible, again, Thomas Tuchel I don't care if he's coming in late in the season, go get him. That's the best out there. I have an affinity for Thomas Tuchel, but yeah, if he's available after the World Cup, go get him.
awesome.
There's Xavi Alonso, and that's not a bad shout. Although
Xavi Hernandez.
yeah, and I feel like Alonso is waiting for the Liverpool job because I know Slot's going to get sacked at the end of the season. Yeah, he's probably waiting for the Liverpool job.
But was Alonso available when they hired Slot? Or was he Leverkusen at that point?
He was still at Leverkusen at the time.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Nagelsmann will be free after the World Cup. Yeah,
Sorry, one second. Sorry, we'll carry on.
Nagelsmann is free after the World Cup. That's another good shout. Yeah, but don't make the mistake of going with a Glasner or an Iraola. We've all seen Thomas Frank at Spurs. It won't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you might get overwhelmed, yeah? So, Rory, let's talk about this game. So, when, we dropped points to Nottingham Forest, the concern was that Unai Emery was going to play against Everton tomorrow, being today. And that lead was going to cut from 7 points to 4 points. Only for this game to happen this evening, and obviously Everton did the Lord's work. So what's your take on how Unai Emery has performed so far? And do you think Aston Villa can have a sustained push for the title?
If I'm being honest, right, and I don't want to piss on Aston Villa's rainbow, but I don't think they are necessarily built to win a league title for me. Look, the form they were on prior the Arsenal game, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if they went on another, I would say run like 11, 12 consecutive games where they were winning, fair enough, right? We would probably class them as like proper title contenders because they've responded from a heavy defeat like that to then winning another 11 games in a row. So to me, after the Everton defeat, and I believe they drew to Crystal Palace 0-0 as well.
Yeah.
Again, I just don't think they are necessarily built to win the league. They've got a fantastic squad, they've got a fantastic manager, but I think it's come a little bit too soon for them. Like, perhaps if they do get Champions League this season, which I think they will, by the way, maybe, right? Maybe if they do get quality in, but it also depends, like, if they keep players as well. Like, Emi Martinez hasn't got long left. There's reports suggesting he's going to be leaving. Morgan Rogers is going to...
Rory, on Martinez, are you talking about his career or his contract?
To be fair, I think it's a bit of both. I really do. I think overall, he's one of the most overrated goalkeepers I've seen anyway. But also, like, how many years has he got left on his contract? Does it expire this summer?
I think it's 18 months.
I think it's 18 months. Yeah, it's expiring next summer.
Yeah, so he won't have long left, and I think he will be pushing for a move this summer, considering, Villa would want to get money for him. As I said, I think Rodgers is going to be snapped up by a massive club at some point. Obviously, I hope Arsenal get him, but I don't know. I feel like teams like Bayern, Real Madrid, they'll be all sniffing around for a player like Morgan Rogers. I'm not going to lie. Tielemans is probably one of their best players so far this season, if you ask me. I think he was arguably their best player today. But yeah, I think with Villa, right, I think I would be prioritising obviously the FA Cup. Obviously they are in the Europa League, right? So I think their priority should be to obviously get a trophy over the line. I think Unai Emery would be arguably their best ever manager. I think right now you could argue he is. their best ever manager in their history.
He's the best ever of the Premier League era for sure. But I think they had some great managers before that in the pre-Premier
Yeah, but obviously,
era
if he wins a trophy like Europa League, FA Cup, likewise, I think you've got to probably class him as one of the best managers.
Certainly one, but they did win a European Cup. There's in the European Cup in 1982.
Yeah, but I know that he was in Conference League a couple of seasons back, but that was the one up to the
true. But again, if he's going to win a Europa League, which is
that makes sense. True.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so Reward, let's talk about Everton for a bit. Under Sean Dyche, they were really going into the trenches, and they brought in David Moyes, who stabilized the club a bit. Their final campaign at Goodison Park before they moved to this new Hill Dickinson Stadium. But so far in the Premier League, 9 wins, 5 draws, 8 defeats. Are they where they are supposed to be, or do you think they should be doing better with the kind of ambition their club is showing now?
When you say ambition, I'm struggling because who are the players? Last I checked, McNeil was still starting for Everton. That's
no, I don't think he's going to start now. I think he has been banned by the likes of Ndiaye and co. But
but now that those guys are in AFCON, they're short. They're short of players. I don't see. They don't have the right players if that's really the ambition. They're 10th on the table, and I feel like that's where they belong. They're average at best. We know David Moyes, his best at stabilizing things, keeping clean sheets, a good defense, but he's not that exciting going forward. I'm very happy for Barry. He started scoring goals. I know it took him a while to get into the groove in the Premier League. So but aside Ndiaye, their defense is their best bet. Tarkowski, Pickford, I don't know how Pickford keeps doing it. The guy keeps getting clean sheets after clean sheets.
In games you don't expect, it's true.
Yeah, they always. How Rodgers didn't score in this game is beyond. There was this shot he did, like a long range shot outside the box as well, that was going into the top corner, and somehow Pickford kept that out. So, Everton will be Everton. They won't get relegated. They won't get into Champions League or UEFA Cup places, but they're just mid-table, and I think that's where they belong, really.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Dom. So let's talk Chelsea. Liam Rossini just joining the club after taking over from Enzo Maresca. What's your honest take on the whole Maresca situation, him losing his job and Rossini getting the nod?
Maresca kind of talked himself out of a job, didn't he? He did a Conte. Glasner had a go at doing it yesterday for Palace, but
didn't work.
But by the way, as well, did you see Emery's interview after the game? I forgot to ask that.
Did you say anything crazy?
I think he's trying to get himself sacked from Aston Villa. I really do.
Wait, I don't get. Is it that like every board member now, and once you just say anything in the press conference, you just get nuts or what? Because it's like a trend.
Yeah, like every single manager now.
Yeah,
it's just calling out everybody. It's mad.
I hope their contracts have certain clauses that makes them not get away with this, because almost every manager is doing this now, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I reckon Arteta's going to be next. I really do. I actually do, because you got Declan Rice arguing with AirPod Albert. Declan Rice, that clip after the game, fucking shit every fucking time. It's not a happy camp at the moment. That's all I'm gonna say. So it honestly won't surprise me.
I think these things are perfectly normal. They just don't necessarily happen in public. But look, Maresca at Chelsea. Chelsea, I don't understand it. Right? They basically go and sell 50 players a year and buy 50 players a year, but they don't really seem to improve the quality overly. Right? Out goes Nicholas Jackson, in comes João Pedro. Out goes Madueke, in comes Brian Gittins. Buy some. Look, what they need to do is buy some experienced players. And I can understand why Maresca got really irritated, right? Because Chelsea were basically replacing like with like and just spending a load of money doing it. They spent £2 billion in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Is that my timeout button, AT?
No. Go ahead.
But what can I say? You know, it just doesn't make sense. So I can understand why he got frustrated and sort of wanted out. Liam Rosenior coming in, like he you know, Liam Rosenior is the ultimate yes man, right? And that's not
Yeah.
him. But this is because actually I can't blame him for taking a Chelsea job. He did a good job at Strasbourg. From a Chelsea point of view, he understands how Chelsea look to operate. They could pay themselves compensation, so they saved themselves a manager fee. So that sort of helped. So they can
Legal stuff, man.
But you know, Liam Rosenior taking a job, 100% he should take the job. Why would you not if you're Liam Rosenior? And maybe he's going to be a good manager. We don't know. But until Chelsea start to show some ambition, by which I mean to not just go, it's about making money, because it seems to be they just want to make money here, but to actually try and go, we want to improve with these signings rather than just replacing like we like. They're just going to go round and round in circles, and eventually it's going to catch up with them because top managers aren't going to want to go there. And in some ways, in January, who were they going to get? Who was out of work? Not really anyone at the moment. And Rosenior kind of feels like an interim if they were, I hate using the phrase, but if they really wanted, if they were serious, they really wanted to go and try and win things. He kind of feels like that to me, because Chelsea aren't in a position where they need a full rebuild. They just need to, you know, ironically, get rid of some players out of the squad and bring in some older players, more experienced players that are sort of ready to help them win and understand how they win, rather than recycling them for young players that don't constantly. So it's a really odd situation.
Another thing as well, right, about Chelsea, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Maresca actually wanted a centre-back, didn't he, in the summer? He was I want a centre-back in the summer, and now they're going to get a centre-back.
Now they're going to get a centre-back for
Jeremy Jackie.
It doesn't make sense to me.
But again, really quickly, Jeremy Jacquet, right, is a very young, very talented French defender, right? Arsenal linked with him. It makes sense for him to go to a club like Arsenal because he'd be behind the likes of Saliba, Gabriel. He can learn from them, fit in, right? But he's going to Chelsea, where that back line is like Levi Colwell, João Hasso, him. But
they are shield, like actually, all young folks like him, actually.
All young defenders. Who is he going to learn from? Look, for Jacquet, makes perfect sense. Going to Premier League, far more money, good club, playing in Europe, blah, 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 blah. But who's he going to learn from? Again, go out there and try and buy Mark Gehi.
They're not Chelsea doing
that. Million is just
you know,
I think
it's 20 million for Gehi plus add-on, so it's going to be 30, which is a good price. But if that contract is 300,000, that's
Chelsea's not paying 300,000.
If I remember, I know they had the same issue with Osimhen when it came to wages. Because one thing we have to also consider is that all these young folks they get have smaller wages too, right?
I mean, sorry,
Chelsea would rather sign young guys for like astronomical fees rather than paying them great fees. So Chelsea would sign a 19-year-old for 60 million and pay him peanuts, than buy an experienced player for 15, 20 million and then pay him. That's Chelsea.
You're exactly right. But for all the time they're doing that, I can't see how they're going to be successful long term. And you're exactly right. Chelsea can't afford.
So I think we just need to get that into our heads that the old Chelsea is dead. Chelsea is not interested in winning trophies or being successful. It's just
a business model right now. But my question to you, Reward, is this: why do you guys keep giving like 10-year contracts, like 8-year contracts? And what the problem? I saw like Mudryk now that you gave a 9-year contract. How can you get your money back from him?
Yeah,
of course you can get
stay
your
with
money
the manager
back.
as well. Like
that's the amortization deal. It works perfectly because on the books, Chelsea is also like Man City. There's so many charges against Chelsea, right? We're not even able to sign as much as we can because we have FFP troubles, right? So on the books, that's the only way it works. So that's how it works for Chelsea, by giving them long-term contracts, right? Again, these are young players who basically have nothing. Like you can tell them to sign anything and they'll sign it, right? Because they have no pedigree, nothing. So if you're giving something like this jacket guy that's coming now, probably give him an 8-year contract on maybe, I don't know, 50K a week, he'll sign it. But you can't do that to a Guehi, where he's never going to sign that.
So let me stick with your Reward. Or do you want to see something, Dom?
We just need to understand that the old Chelsea model is dead. Chelsea's not interested in winning trophies.
That's fine. So let's talk about the football itself.
Sorry, AT, just really quickly.
Don't go
I
ahead.
think you're absolutely spot on with all those comments about Chelsea. I couldn't agree more.
Awesome.
He's
Now,
spot on.
Yeah, with the way they are playing right now, Reward as a Chelsea fan. You're a Chelsea fan, right?
Yep.
Good. Where do you see your guys finishing this campaign? In all competitions. Premier League, Carabao Cup, where you still are, still losing to us though, FA Cup, and the Champions League.
So I'm still pissed that Maresca was signed. That Maresca was sacked. Yeah. If Maresca was still here, I would have said pretty much a top four, and we'll definitely get a trophy, either the Carabao Cup or the FA. One of them. We'll definitely get one of them, right? But with Liam Rosinha, I'm sorry, I don't know what to make out of this guy. The fact that he's the Chelsea coach is just diabolical, in my opinion. Like, on no account should nothing against him. I mean, but he's a noble. He could barely cut it at Strasbourg, and Chelsea the ownership, the Clear Lake Capital, they really pumped money into Strasbourg, right? And he's meeting. I mean, he qualified them for Europe, but I mean, yeah, that was expected. So I don't think he has what it takes to coach a club like Chelsea. If Chelsea finishes 6th, I mean, I feel like he would have done well, but I don't see him. He might not even get top 4. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm a Chelsea.
Okay. So if you have Arsenal and Man City going for the title, and maybe Aston Villa coming third, you feel you can take that 4th spot?
The squad is not experienced enough to navigate this. We don't have, and then you go get a coach who's even more inexperienced. Like, this January market, they're looking for a center back. Instead of getting experience, they're going for another kid. Like, it doesn't. It won't.
Fair enough.
I don't see Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea is nothing to be reckoned with. If this moment doesn't change, it's downhill. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That makes sense. Rory, let's talk Liverpool. Like, I don't know.
Oh my days.
What the hell is going on with that club, bro?
Just sack Slot already. Sack him.
Try not to laugh.
To be
Rory.
honest with you,
So I wanted to ask you a question, but I was so amused that I just had no chance asking what's going on with them. Like, what the hell, man?
yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know how Lex Luthor still has a job. Like, honestly, I think Liverpool fans, the issue with them is because they have been that shit this season, they are celebrating the fact they are how many games are they unbeaten? So, the happy clappers are going to be like, yeah, we're unbeaten. Brilliant. You drop points to
Burnley, Fulham.
And you haven't managed to beat all 3 promoted sides this season. It's just mad. You've spent £450 million on players that, let's be honest, right? Ekatike is the only one that has
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but has
them.
anyone seen what was happening in the AFCON final?
I think it's the extra time, right?
Scenes. So a penalty has been given in the last minute to Morocco. The Senegal players have refused to leave the penalty area, and now the manager has signalled them off the pitch so that the penalty can't be taken.
Well, okay, I'm saying interrupted. What the hell, though?
Senegal basically refused.
I need to tune in
to move out
after
the way,
this,
and they have. It's about to be over. If Morocco get to take the penalty and they score it, that's it. It's 110th minute or something daft. But Senegal's manager has ordered his players off the pitch. About most of the team seem to have been booked by the referee. It's all. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
and guess who won the penalty? It was Josh.
Diaz himself.
Yeah, no, Diaz has been the GOAT in this tournament, though. Pretty much. Okay, so Rory, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so obviously with Liverpool, as I said, the only signing that has worked out for them is Ekatike. who, you know, should be their main striker anyway. Like, I get they wanted more forwards, etc. And, you know, Isak was available at the time. He went on strike because he was that desperate for the Liverpool move, and obviously Diego Jota, etc., etc. They lost Darwin Núñez in the summer. So I understood their business at the time, but anyone and their nan could see that they needed a centre-back, right? Mark Gahey was available for 20 million, and they decided to blow the opportunity. It's not like I told Liverpool fans that that was your opportunity to bring in Mark Gahey in the summer. That was your opportunity. I don't think you're getting him now. After...
Well, definitely not now. He's gone to City.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, when they were in that rough patch, right, when they were losing 4-1 PSV, I warned them. I said, listen, I don't think you're getting Mark Gahey now. I really don't. Why would he move from Crystal Palace, who have, you know, they started the season very well at the time. I think they were above Liverpool. They beat them early on in the season. Why would he move over to Liverpool, who have, you know, I'll give you the worst defending champions of all time? Why would he move there when, you know, Man City, who needs centre backs, he's going to be their main centre back, isn't he? Let's be honest with you. And I knew one of Man City or Bayern Munich would definitely come in for him, maybe even Arsenal, right? He's more likely to go there than Liverpool right now. And obviously he's gone to Manchester City, and, you know, Liverpool miss out. Like, they are one injury away from centre-back, I would say, from absolute crisis.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're still, like, fourth in the league. They're still in contention to get cheap, which is mental when you think about it. Listen,
despite all the losses, it's quite crazy.
Yeah, it's mental. But for me, like, after spending that sort of money in the summer, Liverpool fans have lost patience. They lost patience ages ago with Arne Slot. And I said already, and I think I've mentioned it quite a few times, right? Yes, Arne Slot won the league last season, but I feel like he's brainwashed a lot of Liverpool fans, including rival fans as well. Like, we all thought Arne Slot is the best since sliced bread. He's one of the best managers in the world. When, you know, this is basically his squad, apart from, you know, a couple of players here and there, the likes of McAllister, Salah, Van Dijk, Konate, right? He has invested a lot in this squad by spending, of course, 400 million, and he's not got the best out of many of them, as far as I'm aware. Again, yes, I know he won them the league, but at the same time, crap managers have won a league title before. Like, Di Matteo won the Champions League with Chelsea. Pellegrini won the league with Man City. So did Mancini. Ranieri, likewise. Like, managers have won the Premier League. They
sometimes stars just align, don't they?
Yeah. And I feel like whenever it is the following season where there's pressure to sort of retain what you've won, it goes tits up, especially when you've got an opportunity in the summer to, you know, build on what you've already got.
Yeah.
You don't really get the best out of anyone, really.
Sure.
So, listen, I think Arne Slot will go at some point. Obviously, Xabi Alonso is available. I don't know what's going to happen there. Is he going to get appointed? I'm not sure. But I'll be very shocked if Arne Slot survives next season. I don't think he'll get sacked at the end of the at the end of this season, by the way. I think he'll get sacked following season, actually. They'll give him at least October, November, and then, you know, if this form carries on, then surely he's got to go. I think every Liverpool fan's in agreement, you know, because at this rate, it's just not good enough.
I agree. So, Reward, the Mo Salah situation, now that the AFCON is over, does he walk back into the squad? Or do you think he should go back to the bench following the drama that he had prior to AFCON?
I mean, I don't think he ever apologized. I mean, whatever he did in secret, we don't have details of that, but I don't think things are as clear as they should be. So I think he's still going to persist with what he has going on. He'll definitely come on here and there, but even Salah himself is washed, so it shouldn't be a big deal anymore. He's done his best for Liverpool, and it shouldn't taint his legacy at Liverpool, in my opinion. So
scenes! It's
What?
saved!
Oh my days.
Saved!
You're kidding me, right?
No way. What? Hold up. Are the Senegal team still off the pitch?
Nope. Mane went down the tunnel, got them. The goalkeeper got booked for running to the goal too fast, as far as I can work out.
Oh my days.
And he's just gone and saved it.
I was just trying to refresh my page, but my Wi-Fi's bare slow.
Whoa.
Oh my days.
Well, that's justice right there.
yeah, that's justice. Because I even heard that they actually paid the refs to do the VAR.
I need to tune in to AFCON more often, My God.
He's gone for a Panenka.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my days.
And chipped it straight at Mendy's just stood still and gone, thanks very much.
Like he didn't dive?
I first of all, I thought he just mishit it. And I've just seen again, he's gone for a Panenka. It's gone to extra time.
Wow. Awesome.
I'm so sorry to get excited there.
No. That's dope. That's actually an AFCON final. So, okay, Dom. Let's talk about other results. Leeds Fulham. This one was a game that I thought a new
form. Someone he's not in Liverpool. I get Leeds Fulham.
Yeah. So if you remember when this fixture was reversed, Fulham actually scored a very late goal against Leeds. I think the 93rd minute or thereabout, a good Monson own goal. And now Leeds does the same. Do you think that you still have enough to still stay within the league?
Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone else is shit.
Yeah.
No, Leeds. Look, Leeds. I thought they were going to go down, to be honest with you. But right now, I think Forest will survive because I think Sean Dyche is too good, and I think West Ham have left themselves too much to do. But if you'd asked me 2 months ago, I would have thought Nuno would save West Ham and Leeds would go down. But fair play to Daniel Farke. He's done a really good job. They've had a really decent run of form, which probably makes them look better than they are. But this is another really good result for them. And, I think Leeds are showing some tactical awareness. They've changed the way they play slightly. They've got a forward in Howard-Lewin scoring goals, who looks reinvigorated since he left Everton and is relatively injury-free. And touch wood for him, because, you don't ever want to see players injured consistently. And look, they've won this one late, if I remember rightly. I think they won it sort of in injury time. But a really big 3 points. It's not enough to stay up yet, but, a gap at the bottom is much bigger than a gap at the top, by which I mean it's much harder to get points at the bottom than it is at top. You could see a Manchester City going on a roll. Aston Villa, I think, went on that roll, which, overstated their quality, but you can see how teams at the top can do it. Much harder to do when you're not such a good side. So fair play to Leeds. I think Daniel Farke will keep them up by the looks of things here.
No, awesome. So, Reward, let's talk about Fulham for a bit. They really had the set of topsy-turvy results. One time they're doing well, one time they're struggling. What do you think they need to do extra? I don't know why in January. Do you think there's any hole that needs to be plugged in that team?
They don't have the funds. I don't think they're going to the market. Even in the summer, who did they get? I think it was just Kevin, and that was it.
Yeah, I think it's just Kevin.
Yeah, so Fulham are not going to spend. I mean, once the AFCON guys come back, Bassi, he will be Chukwueze, yeah. I think Adama Traore is also leaving, so yeah. But Wilson has been on a very good run of form of late. He's a good player. He's a really good player, but he's been unfortunate with injuries, so he's just gotten
new lease of life. Yeah,
and we can see how he's literally been carrying them along. So Fulham will be Fulham, mid-table, average. Yeah, they'll never get relegated, but they'll definitely give a good run for themselves. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Rory, Sunderland's home form is becoming a concern. It's like for some reason, even if they concede an early goal, they just tend not to lose at home. And obviously, I know Crystal Palace has some drama around themselves. But what's your take on how Sunderland has performed at home this season?
Rory's watching AFCON.
Rory, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's frozen. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Dom, do you want to take a stab at that?
Which one? Sorry, I was watching AFCON.
Yes. Sunderland, their whole form have been very, very imperious so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Sunderland invested heavily in the summer. Real big gamble from them, because if it doesn't pay, you're in serious trouble, because you've got all these expensive players on big contracts. You spent a lot of money. You go down and you lose all that Premier League revenue. But it's worked really, really well. They bought really astutely, and it's all sort of coming up smelling of roses. It kind of strikes me a little bit of Forest last season, but I think it's going to sort of all slightly go downhill towards the end of the season. But the longer it keeps going, the more chance they have of a European place. And then the issues will be next season. Can they sustain it? We've seen Palace and Forest both struggle a little bit this season with trying to keep the form of Europe and domestic competition with a thin squad. But Palace have had a terrible week. Let's be honest about it. They've lost Mark Gehi. They've lost.
Mateta's leaving.
Mateta potentially going. Manager's announced he's leaving. Who's done a really good job there, Glasner. And I think you're right. Someone was saying earlier, but look, it's a big risk if someone like Manchester United take him on, because he's not necessarily had the opportunity at bigger clubs. But until you try it, you never know. But Palace had a real difficult week. It was a really good time for Sunderland to play them. They're getting their AFCON players back. And you can sort of see their form go on. They've sort of been the feel-good success story of the season, right? Imagine if they finish ahead of Eddie Howe's Newcastle. Absolute scenes up there.
That would be crazy.
A big win for Sunderland. I mean, my gut feeling says Newcastle will finish above them come the end of the season, because quality generally out. But Sunderland, fair play, brilliant stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. So, let's talk Liverpool and new Tottenham real quick. Like, what's going on in that club right now? Like,
Sorry, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, AT. I'd just like to answer this question through mime.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so at this point, should Frank be sacked?
I can't believe you're asking that question. He should have been sacked ages ago. I don't think you'll ask any Spurs fan and they'll be like, every Spurs fan wants him out.
Oh, has Senegal scored?
They did?
Yes, Senegal have scored.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. So, right now, man,
I don't think you'd ask any Spurs fan, and every one of them wants Frank out. Like, he's clearly out of his depth. The players are even speaking against. I don't think typically it's the coach who speaks against the club, but I suppose the players are even speaking against the club. I don't think Daniel Levy is in charge anymore either.
He has gone.
Yeah, like the whole club is a mess. So yeah, it's not looking good for Spurs. It's sad, but it's not looking good. And they have a host of injuries. Kudus is also out injured.
Richarlison, Madison. Yeah, it's really crazy, man.
Solanke's been injured most of the season.
Yeah, but he's back. He's back. I think he played like 10, 15 minutes.
He is back, yeah.
But again, for someone who's been out for like 5 months, he'll definitely need more time. So it's not looking good for Spurs. I don't know where they go from here. They should have sacked Frank ages ago. So I think we can do a bet. I think he's the next manager to be sacked.
Yeah, but then again, they finished 17th last season or 16th. Yeah. So they're in familiar surroundings now.
They're 14th now, so it's zero progress. But
I mean, I thought their finish last season seemed slightly false, but maybe the Europa League was a slightly false one. But look, I think sort of similar to Manchester United, I think the issues go deeper than just the manager, right? I mean, there is issues with the board, there is issues with the structure of the club, there's issues with direction of the club and what they want to do, there's issues with the players, there's issues with the playing staff and how it all works together. The issues go beyond Thomas Frank. They also sort of forested it this year. They went from Nuno to Ange to Sean Dyche. Well, Nuno to Dyche was the obvious one to go with, but Tottenham all over the place in terms of strategy, and that's. In some ways, I feel for Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank is a decent enough manager, And Spurs should have been the right jump for him, given really, Brentford are what, let's say 14th-ish in the league. Tottenham probably about 8th. It feels like the right sort of jump. But I think he was set up to fail from the moment he walked in the door. The players didn't want him. The fans didn't necessarily want him, or a significant majority of them didn't seem to want him. And they just wanted instant success. And again, Tottenham, like Manchester United, and I talk about phases with Arsenal, and I won't go on about it here, but, I've done that just to make Rory laugh. It requires that. Thomas Frank could have done that. I don't think he would ever have succeeded at Tottenham in terms of getting them over the line to Premier League wins, but I think he could have put some building blocks in place. But I just don't think anyone wanted him to succeed. It almost felt like they're actively working against him. And when you're in that position, he has to go, because you can't just go, well, we're getting rid of everybody. But Tottenham's culture is rotten. Arsenal's culture was rotten 5 years ago, and Tottenham are in a similar place.
I generally don't see who they even get at this point. I don't think anyone wants to go to Spurs.
Yeah, but they will need to get a manager either way. Maybe they can call Shearer. No, not Shearer. Defoe. Or someone though. But I think right now,
Ryan Mason's available.
Mason is
that by West Brom. He really is available.
Mason is really their caretaker folk. I agree. So let's look at another game that happened today. The Newcastle Wolves. Rory, did they what's the word to use? Did they ingest some kind of fluid on the Wolves players? Because the way they have been playing in recent weeks have been a whole lot different. Arsenal found it very hard to win them. Liverpool had to really sweat to win them. They drew Manchester United. They're getting some very good results, and now they're going to draw against Newcastle. But obviously, they should be relegated, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Man City have lost more games than Wolves so far this year. It's kind of it's kind of mad. Listen, I only tuned in to the second half to this game. In all fairness,
is that
I don't remember what really.
Rory?
You what?
Is that because you wanted an afternoon nap?
Yeah. That was probably the game to cure any sort of insomnia. That was so boring. I don't even know why I tuned into it. Perhaps it's because Aston Villa are on, so I had no choice but to stick this one on, really. Yeah, Newcastle are really poor away from home.
It's strange, actually. It's quite strange when you think about it.
Yeah. I look at some of their attacking players, and I reckon Harvey Barnes, who I actually rate quite highly, to be honest with you, is better than a bad bunch of them. I think... Anthony Gordon, please. If we're planning on splashing £70 million on that geezer, then
I really hope not.
Yeah. Oh my days.
Gordon hasn't scored a goal in over a year from open play.
Yeah. By the way,
really,
Gordon,
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my days.
I think Gordon should go and sign for Thomas Frank. Then you've got Thomas the Tank Engine, you've got Gordon. Maybe they could get Henry out of retirement. They've got Henry the Engine. Let's not get the old gang back together. Daniel James from Leeds. There's James the Engine. I'm getting there.
Oh yeah, like the full crew, yeah. No. But it's quite concerning the way Newcastle has been playing, because when they come to St. James Park, they're like a different beast. Yeah. But when they just change their jersey to this one, they gather the green one or this one. I bet you remember the Votiman own goal against Sunderland. Even in the games you expect them to at least get a decent result, they are kind of struggling. And clearly, they don't want to make the Champions League, that's for sure. Okay, so let's look at the final outstanding fixture. It's in the South Coast, the Brighton-Brentford game, Bournemouth game, sorry. These are two teams that just sometimes they decide to turn up, the other time they just play anyhow. So what's your prediction for this game? Do you think it's going to be a draw reward, or will Brighton get the result against Bournemouth?
I mean, I won't be surprised if it's a draw, because this match week has just been very drab, and so I won't be surprised if this is a draw. But this looks like it has some goals in it. So
oh god, yeah.
Mitoma is back. Minte is also fit again. Welbeck is Welbeck. So I see Brighton winning just slightly. Bournemouth, they still need to replace Emmanuel. I know there's this Brazilian kid they're trying to get. I can't remember his name. But I really like Krupi Jr. I mean,
Yeah, decent.
Yeah, he's really good, but I don't know. But I think they have just enough they won't get relegated. They're mid-table. They're currently 15th, I think. Yeah, but they also ship in a lot of goals, so their defense is very porous. So but I see Brighton winning this one.
And that's a strange one. Dom, the beginning of the season, when Bournemouth beat Tottenham at Tottenham Shite Stadium, I think they were like fourth or something.
Yeah.
But they've been on like some serious free fall. Like, what have been the cause of that rot?
I mean, look, they conceded a lot of goals, but that's not necessarily a surprise. They lost their starting keeper. They lost 3 of their starting back 4 last year. They're very reliant going forward on Evan Nielsen and Semenyo. So I think Bournemouth were sort of punching above their weight a little bit. And by the way, everyone wins at Tottenham apart from Tottenham. So I don't think we should put too much store by that. He says flippantly, knowing we've got to go there and hoping that doesn't come back to bite me in a few weeks' time. But I mean, Bournemouth, it's a really tricky one. When you lose that many players, Crystal Palace are kind of going to experiencing too. It's very tricky.
True.
But yeah, I think this is going to be high scoring. Excuse me. Both sides score a lot of goals. Neither side can defend terribly well. Although Brighton actually have started. I think they've now got 4. Their back 4 now all back for. They haven't had that for a while, so I expect them to be slightly better defensively. I think Brighton will nick this one 2-1.
Okay, cool. So let's go to the surprise of the week. I'll start with you, Rory. What is the surprise of the week? Man City losing or something else?
I mean, can we go to non-surprise of the week? I mean, almost every game was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, but obviously one had to stand out for you.
Hey, I got Leeds Fulham. You can pipe down.
No. But it's for 3 of you, though. But I'm starting with Rory first.
Oh God, that's difficult, isn't it?
And the best part now, the word and Dom can be thinking while you're struggling, right?
I'll probably say Man United, Man City. Just
fair enough. Mine was Liverpool Burnley. I expected Liverpool to at least win Burnley. I think they had like 30-something shots on attempts or some crazy start like that. So that was a surprise to me.
Manchester United.
I don't think anyone expected Michael Carrick to set up the way he did in that United Man City game. To be honest with you. And it felt like obviously Man United had a lot more freedom in that game. To be honest with you, so I'll probably go with that, but. I wouldn't say Arsenal because, it ain't no shock to me that we failed to capitalise. And then, Aston Villa, Chelsea,
I would say Chelsea.
No, I'll probably say Man United, I'll say Man United this week.
Dom?
United didn't shock me. You never know when you get a new manager what's going to happen. United have been up and down all season. And City have been struggling, so that one didn't shock me. I think that the sort of shock for me was one of 2, really. The answer for me is Liverpool-Burnley. Liverpool at home. Had that been away at Burnley, less of a shock. But I think that really is the shock because Burnley haven't been on great form. I think Scott Parker's done a reasonable job there, by the way. But Liverpool still. I mean, I talked about their sexy transfer window in the summer. It just didn't make sense to me in the summer. I said it in the summer, and everyone sort of looked at me as if I'd gone mental. No one expected it to be this bad, but Liverpool. It is still a shock when they don't win these ones at home. But the other shock for me, and in some ways it shouldn't be because Spurs have been bad, but West Ham have been horrific. But West Ham, they didn't just win the game; they won the game. I know they only won it 2-1, but it was far more comfortable than that. And West Ham are shocking. Absolutely shocking this season, and that really was a shock to me as well. But the answer is Liverpool-Burnley. But that was another one really, and it shouldn't be because Spurs have been bad. But West Ham, I mean,
they have not won a game since November.
I reckon I could put. I'm 40. I reckon I could have gone and played against West Ham and still done the job. That's how bad they've been this season.
Yeah, and I was thinking that Nuno was going to come to change things around for them after sacking Potter. But I think he has been equally as worse, man.
The players, they are shit. They have shit players as well. So.
True.
Again, West Ham have underlying issues. They really do. That squad is awful.
Yeah.
To be fair, I probably should have said that. Although, it's Tottenham though, isn't it? Like,
that's why the answer is Liverpool-Burnley, because it's Tottenham, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what about you? What is the surprise of the week, bro?
Well, I'll go slightly different. I'll say Chelsea keeping a clean sheet against because the Chelsea defense is horrendous. Right? Igor Thiago before this game had scored 5 in 2.
Mm-hmm.
How he didn't score a goal beyond me, but
But Sanchez made some good saves in the game.
Yeah, to be fair, after watching the game back, Chelsea.
He missed a lot of chances. So.
True. Okay, so let's look at injury watch. Typically what we do here is to look at the players that got injured in this game. We can see the impact it will have on their team. So we have Casemiro, we have Tosin, we have Lukic, ESR, Esteve, Ben Davies, and John McGinn. So starting with you, Dom, who is in this list that will have the most impact in the team? The person is out for the next game week.
This one's quite easy, right? I mean, who have Chelsea got next week? Because Tosin being injured, that's a big blow for them.
Oh my God.
Can Tosin be injured forever?
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Success of the week for Chelsea is Tosin being injured. I mean, Esteve being injured is a big one. But I think looking at this one, I wonder if it might be Casemiro at Manchester United. I think Casemiro played very well in the last game. I do think he can be got at in this system because he doesn't have the protection and he's got a lot more space to cover. But United just need someone of his experience on there that can sit and hold. And I think if Carrick can get players running around him, and like he did against Manchester City, you can kind of protect Casemiro a bit. And I just think that experience on the pitch is really what Manchester United really need right now. They've got other experienced players like Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, but Casemiro in that central midfield, which is really an area they struggle. Yes, he lacks the athleticism, right? But I think he definitely needs to go, and they definitely need to replace him. But I just think he is a big miss for Manchester United right now, and it's a Manchester United side in big confidence after that City win. I think losing someone like him could be quite significant for them.
Fair enough.
But obviously, it's important for Chelsea's opposition, obviously.
I think low-key it's John McGinn,
Yep.
Might have to. I didn't even know Casemiro was injured, I thought he just got subbed off due to tactical reasons.
No, so he went down, started playing again, then went down again, then they had to take him out.
Yeah, so I'll probably say John McGinn, to be fair. I think Aston Villa have already lost Kamara due to injury. And
they loaned Malen out to Roma.
And he's scored today.
Exactly. So I think now that they've lost, now they've lost John McGinn, I feel like that midfield is looking a little bit short for Aston Villa, if you ask me, and to lose their captain. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they can still play Elliott or Sancho in that flank. Even though this one's kind of, up to
Elliott's done with. I don't think he'll play for them again. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a strange one, that, to be fair.
Yep.
I don't even know how many minutes he's played this season. Yeah. He's not played that many, and I don't know if he's gone there on loan or he's gone there permanently. I think he's actually gone there
to the seal, actually.
No, it was a loan for...
was it a loan?
Okay, loan to buy?
Yeah, loan to buy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they didn't want to trigger the buy clause, so they didn't play him for enough.
Nice, crafty folks. So what about you, Reward?
I would set up again, but I'm shocked Ben Davies still plays for Spurs. How is that even possible?
Well, I think Destiny he has been getting injured so much, and he has been playing well for them actually at his age.
Wow.
I was just saying he's probably their best defender right now.
Yeah. Honestly, because Romero and Van der Ven, they have just been cow dung, man. Okay, so let's look at the Premier League table. What we do here is we look at the teams at the bottom half and predict the ones that will probably get to the top anytime soon. But it seems that the bottom half, they're just kind of, stay where they are. But I can't see any team that will go top. Maybe Palace. or probably Bournemouth. Dom, what do you think? Anything here that comes to mind?
For what? Sorry, that can. Sorry, I got distracted.
That can get back to the top of the Premier League, the top half.
Brighton for me. I think they're partly there because they play the game less. If they win that, they go up. Brighton for me, I wouldn't be shocked to see them in Europe this season.
Yep.
Okay. Rory?
It's an interesting one, actually. There's obviously a conversation to be held about Tottenham, whether or not like they'll sack Thomas Frank and they'll have that manager bounce, which will be good enough to then get them out of the bottom half. But yeah, I probably agree with Dom. I'll go Brighton.
Reward?
Yeah, Brighton. Yep.
Okay. And let's look at the top half and see who is going to drop. Every week, everyone says Sunderland, but for some reason, they keep staying in there.
Yeah.
So, Dom, I'll go back with you again. Who's going to drop from here?
Brentford at some point will. I'm not shocked to see Brentford finishing mid-table this season. I said I thought they'd be all right, but I don't think anyone expects to see them seventh. I think at some point their underlying numbers in the eye test sort of says that they will drop at some point.
Right.
Fair enough. Rory?
I'm going to go Everton, to be honest.
Yeah. They've actually been struggling. Reward?
I'll go Brentford, but I also think Aston Villa would definitely lose top 4.
Ah, nice. Okay, so finally, we're going to go to the fun part. We'll look at the predictions for the next game week. So the last one we did, I know we had a gap in between, was in game week 17 against game week 18. And so Ebuka and Juman that were on the panel that day. And I think Ebuka had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad. Juman had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see how well Dom and Reward and Rory are going to do against next week.
Sorry, Morocco just hit the woodwork.
Ooh, I think second half of extra time now.
Yep, it's still 1-0. 10, just over 10 to go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Senegal still lead 1-0.
Oh, okay, awesome. So we're planning to go and pack the bus. Maybe we need to loan them Gabriel and Saliba to show them how it's done. So Reward.
What would Jose do, Rory? What would Jose do?
So basically, what we do here is when we call the fixture, you're going to say the home score and the away score, like 2-1, that kind of stuff. So we'll start with you. West Ham, Sunderland.
I'll say 1-0 to Sunderland.
Okay, so that's 0-1.
Yeah, 0-1. Sorry.
Dom.
I'm gonna go with a random one here. I'm gonna go West Ham 1, Sunderland 1.
Rory.
I'm gonna go West Ham 1, Sunderland 2.
Reward. Burnley, Spurs.
If Frank is still coach, I think Burnley beats Spurs. So I'll go Burnley 2, Spurs 1.
Dom.
Well, Thomas Frank's just been sacked. No, he hasn't. There is talk that
My heart sunk for a second then.
Yeah, come on. He's doing the Lord's work. They shouldn't let him go, man.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Spurs 100% should keep him. Look, Tom
might actually be a silver member, That's crazy.
I mean, look, he's already got his hands on an Arsenal Cup, so it turns out we can win cups before.
Fair enough.
What phase is Thomas Frank in?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, Thomas Frank engine is off down his branch line. I think he's going to be sacked tomorrow morning. There is a Tottenham board meeting unscheduled tomorrow morning, reportedly, which suggests that Thomas Frank is about to be dismissed. So I think Thomas Frank will not be in charge. I therefore think that Tottenham will go and beat Burnley by 2-1.
So and that'll be with Ryan Mason, right?
Well,
Well, Thomas Frank, not Thomas Frank. Didn't Ryan Mason get sacked by West Brom?
He did. I literally was joking earlier that he is available because he got sacked by West Brom.
Okay, so Rory. So Dom, did I get your scoreline?
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Okay. I usually watch these videos back to record them. Okay, Rory. Burnley Spurs.
I mean, if Thomas Frank is still there, I'm actually going to go with a ball draw. I'm going to go Burnley 0, Tottenham 0.
It does make this one difficult, doesn't it? Because we just don't know if Thomas Frank's in charge.
But even so, like they'll have an interim manager in charge, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a caretaker manager is what you like to call them.
Okay, so 0-0 for you, Rory.
Yeah, 0-0.
Maybe they're going to get the Sheriff of Nottingham back in, old Tim Sherwood.
Yeah, nice. Reward Fulham Brighton.
I'll go Fulham 2, Brighton 2.
Dom.
Brighton are shocking away from home, but I just feel Fulham are on a bad run. I'm going to go Fulham 1, Brighton 2.
Rory.
You know what? I think Fulham might actually win this one because I think
Days!
What?
How the freak has he missed that?
Oh yeah, I saw it on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, Bono, right?
Basically, Senegal have just missed an open goal.
Damn. To make it 2-0.
Yeah.
Ouch. Wow. I think I probably have to go watch this full match after this, man. We just like a replay of it or something. Because the highlights are kind of crazy.
Oh my days, that is.
Wait, was that Jackson?
Even Gabby Martinelli.
No. Jackson is out. They subbed him a long while ago.
And Dye's missed it. I mean, let's put it this way: it's worse than Martinelli's miss on Saturday.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's genuinely worse.
You're kidding me, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm certainly going to go watch it afterwards, man. Damn.
I think, like in terms of Fulham Brighton, I actually think Fulham will win this game because, their home record isn't actually that bad. As Dom rightly pointed out, like Brighton are terrible from home. I think Fulham will win this 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah, but having pointed out Brighton bad away from home, I went for the win. For Brighton, you went for the win for Fulham, and Ward went for a draw. So one of us has got a point.
Yeah, one of you guys going to get a point in that one. So report Man City Wolves.
City are shocking defensively, but Guehi should be available then. So I'll go City 2. I think Wolves score. So Wolves 1. City 2, Wolves 1.
Dom?
3-1 Manchester City. I think Wolves on a good run. City on a bad one. But, I mean, City should be too strong for Wolves at home. I think it'll be 3-1.
Yeah. Rory?
I'm going to go... I'm going to go 3-0 Man City.
Cool. Reward Bournemouth Liverpool.
This was quite interesting earlier in the season. Earlier in the season, it was 3-2 or was it 4-3?
No, 4-2.
4-2.
Liverpool scored 2, Bournemouth equalized, and then Liverpool scored 2 more.
I'll go Bournemouth 2, Liverpool 3.
Done?
Oh, I don't want to do this one. Bournemouth. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Liverpool 3. Yeah, I'm going for a 3-2. Yeah, definitely.
Rory?
I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool.
Okay. Reward Brentford, Nottingham Forest.
Oh, this is tough. Brentford. I'll go Brentford 1 for a 0.
Done?
I am going to go for a ball draw. I'm going to go 0-0.
Rory?
I'm going to go 3-1 to Brentford.
Reward, I know your bias will come in here. Crystal Palace, Chelsea.
The depleted Palace, Palace 0, Chelsea 3.
Dom?
2-0 Chelsea. Palace just in free fall at the moment.
Rory?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. They'll probably...
Reward Newcastle, Aston Villa.
Wow. Newcastle are really...
That's a bit of a tight one. It's still poor.
Yeah. Newcastle 2, Villa 1.
Dom?
Yeah, I think that too. 2-1 Newcastle. I think Villa it's just starting to go a bit wrong for them now. I think Newcastle will win this one. If it was away, I'd have Villa, but Newcastle at home, I think.
Rory?
I'm going to go 1-1 for this one.
Okay. Reward Arsenal, Man United.
This will be a shocker again, and I feel
no, don't do it, Reward, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it.
Arsenal 1, United 2.
Oh Lord.
This guy, bro.
Dom.
It's difficult with Man United, isn't it? I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0.
Rory.
That's my prediction.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Arsenal as well.
Yet another Monday game for Everton. I think I'm made for Mondays, man. Reward, Everton leads.
I'll go 1-1.
Dom?
Well, I don't like Mondays. It's just me then. I'll do the musical interlude. Don't you worry about it. Right, Everton 1, Leeds 1.
Rory.
I've got 1-1 as well for that game.
Can I change my predictions because Rory's matched me quite a lot?
I need to get the dub. I need to get a dub next week, you know.
Yeah, man. So, final thoughts. So we'll just go around the table for actually what you guys will do the rest of the week. So we'll start with you, Dom. Final thoughts of the game week in general.
Well, this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just insane. It's completely mental. It makes absolutely no sense what's happened this weekend. I mean, I heard there's a guy called Footy Corner I do a show with, and he had a theory earlier that actually the amount and intensity of the big games for the big teams in recent weeks might well have just caught up with a lot of them this weekend because they've all looked really, really poor. And I think the more I think on it, the more I think he might have a point. They played a lot of minutes and a lot of games in this week, and that goes to a lot of sides as well. But with the midweek games and stuff, I think it's all started to catch up with them, and maybe that's why we've just seen a lot of the big sides in particular really struggle this week. I think I do also think it's a good advert for the Premier League, right? Quite often you see big sides in leagues bully teams every single week, and we see that in the Premier League most weeks as well. To be fair, let's not pretend it's
it doesn't happen, yeah.
But it doesn't happen. But it does seem to happen more in the Premier League than say Germany or France with these big sides, and I think that's a good thing for the league because I think it keeps things honest. But I mean, the irony is it's been a good weekend for Arsenal, despite the fact they've drawn. Like the draw was massively disappointing, but they have extended their lead. The disappointment is it's not 9 points, but it is still 7. I think the league is well set up. Manchester City, have bought well again, but I still think they're a little bit short, and I think Arsenal will see it out. But just a mad weekend, but a good one for the Premier League.
Yeah. Reward, thoughts on the game week?
Yeah, I'll echo that point. Crazy week, expected. I don't think it will get any better because UCL is back this week, so expect same of same, I'll say, yeah.
Rory?
To be honest, I actually think completely the opposite. I think it was so boring. I really do. I'm not going to lie. Like, you've got 2-0 draws in there. You've got, obviously, I don't watch the Liverpool game at 3:00. That was obviously a surprise. Like, Spurs are just Spurs, so like they're boring themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I didn't really enjoy this week. I don't know whether it was because Arsenal just didn't win or, I don't know. It wasn't great to watch whatsoever, in my opinion. And in a 4:30 game, Aston Villa and Everton, like. Who in the right mind when Man United and Man City are on at 12:30 on Sky Sports? Why would you put that on a Saturday?
Yeah.
When it should be on the Sunday. Nah. Like,
it's a Sunday 4:00 game, surely, right?
Yeah. Like, why do they have the Nottingham Forest Arsenal game on TNT? By the way.
Because it was explosive. But
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, guys, so let's just talk about our different channels. So, Dom, you run Arsenal Domination.
Yes.
Awesome channel. What do you have for the week?
Well, I will have a short every single day. Absolutely, Lordy knows what it will be. But tomorrow's is on. What the hell is tomorrow's on? Bear with me a second, and I will tell you because I'm a professional. One sec. Content scheduled. Hang on. There we go. Oh, yes. It is on the need to find the right attacking combinations. We were talking about it earlier with Arsenal. So I've actually got a 3-minute video on why we didn't get the combination right on Saturday, but why with the combinations we have in theory in the squad, Arteta should be able to find the right combination. There shouldn't be a set Arsenal front four or anywhere. It should be about how you set up against the opposition, and that's tomorrow's video. There'll be previews for Inter Milan, Manchester United later in the week, but I do a video every day for 3 minutes. So
okay, awesome. So guys, I'll put his page on the description below, so don't forget to follow him, like and subscribe as well. Rory,
and as you can tell, I'm a professional.
Yeah, you certainly are. What's up with you? What's up with you, bro? It's Red RD.
What, me?
I know what we're cooking tomorrow by 8:30, as we always do.
Yeah,
But
you
the rest
know
of
what's
the week,
coming.
What else you got on Red Road?
God's sake.
It's been at least 2 weeks since I said it. It was coming.
Oh my days, bro! Tots calls me flipping Red Road every flipping time.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, what's coming up? Obviously, you know what's coming up tomorrow. Arsenal All Out, another episode of that, where I'm sure more drama than the AFCON final today.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, because I think we got Seb on this week, so that'll be.
Yeah. Did we not win at the weekend?
I may have to double check that actually. Just give me 2 seconds. Hold the bus. Nah, we didn't. I don't think so. And then he's coming on tomorrow. Yeah, something ain't adding up. But yeah, obviously we play midweek against Inter, don't we? So I'll be covering that game as well as the Man United one at the weekend. So that's about it, really.
Awesome. So that's Red RD on YouTube. Channel will be on the description as well. Reward, do you have a channel?
Yeah, FPL Reward.
Yeah.
I'm all about FPL. So
yeah. So before you answer, what's your current rank in FPL? Tell me, top 10,000.
I've been having a shit season, like my club Chelsea. Yeah, I've been having.
Lord.
So
yeah. So how's that space doing, bro?
It's going. It's we're trying to build something with AI. We're trying to build models that will help predictive analytics and stuff. So that's something we're testing out. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So FPL Reward, check him out as well. And thanks for everyone that been with us this evening. As always, it's been fun. We do this every Sunday. Look at all the fixtures, get crazy. And it's good to have you, Reward. Hopefully we'll see you another time, right?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Reward, really lovely to meet you, by the way. I thought you were about Chelsea. Very honest.
What's your channel, by the way, bro, again? I didn't catch that.
FPL Reward.
And the Fantasy Premier League.
I'll drop you a sub, bro.
Yeah. So I'm going to put his channel as well so that we can all sub to each other as well. All right, guys. It's been fun tonight cooking with you guys, man. See you guys next time. And bye to everyone, man. Bye.